Hello and welcome to Will Watches. This is Hawkeye episode 3. So we're already halfway through the show. It seems like it's going really quick, but it's just because they dropped the first 2 episodes right at the start. So I'm looking forward to this. Seems like things might be ramping up a bit. I just want to see kind of a bit more of the gangs. Of course, Echo is introduced and this episode is called Echoes, so I'm imagining we're going to see a lot more of her, and I'm hoping we see more of the gangs. It's called Echoes, so we see like the echoes of what they're doing, how it has like knock-on effects to other gangs perhaps. I want to know a bit of like her motivation and what the gang is actually after, So before we get into this, be sure to check out the Patreon. Over there you can find 1 week early access, full-length timer-based reactions and polls so you can vote for what's next. So yeah, let's just jump into Hawkeye episode 3. I can't imagine Echo actually being that bad or that much of a villain, considering she's getting her own show. But then again, Agatha's getting her own show, so I feel like there's going to be like some good in her, it's not going to be all bad. Oh, we're getting backstory on Echo. So she's like learning to lip read, yeah. How good is her kind of mimicry? She has all of these mimicry powers. Can she almost blend in with hearing people by being so good at copying what they do,
It's quiet like you. No, maybe they are.
Dragons are real in the MCU, aren't they? Because of what we saw in Shang-Chi. Yeah, she's just in a regular school.
See, you are one of a kind. I'm sorry.
You just can't afford it.
You have to learn to jump between 2 worlds.
Just like the dragons.
Just by watching.
Yeah, that's her superpower, is just watching, observing.
Uncle will take you home after class. I'll see you tonight.
Who was that uncle? They held on his hand for a second. Oh, she's missing a leg as well. I didn't realise that. It seemed quite mysterious with the uncle then. Doing a good job of setting up, she's a bit of a powerhouse here. I wasn't expecting the prosthetic leg. I wonder how that happened. She obviously had it from a young age. I don't know if she was just born like that or if there was an incident. I'm hearing swords. Is this going to be, him as Ronin taking out her gang? So is she just after revenge for Ronin, and then obviously thinks Kate Bishop. Oh, and the dad. So we're getting consequences of his time as Ronin, seeing the knock-on effects of his actions. So was the dad part of the tracksuit gang then? What was their whole deal as a gang, Was Clint actually justified in taking out the gang? Oh, and it was his blood, because I know she had that kind of white mark on her face usually. It was like the blood left on there. I noticed that in the last episode she didn't have that white mark. Again. Or if he can prove that they're not actually Ronin, maybe he can try and work together with Echo.
I buy Imagine Dragons tickets for my girlfriend. The tickets were a gift, so she wants to bring her sister.
I have to go see Imagine Dragons.
I love Imagine Dragons.
Yeah. That's why you for him to say that.
Tell her she hurt your feelings, but apologize for pretending that was a gift for her.
Okay.
Does Jorge recognize her? Oh, she has that mark. The dad had that tattoo. That mark that's on her leather jacket. She noticed that he's hard of hearing already.
Yeah, sorry. Hard of hearing, not deaf.
We weren't supposed to understand that. They didn't put the subtitles. He doesn't understand sign language completely.
Cookie, please, thank you.
You rely too much on technology. Now she means your hearing aid.
She's not Ronin. Look at her, she's 9.
Yeah,
Because he's dead.
So who got him then?
Yeah, I could tell he said Maximoff.
And the person who killed him is dead. That's convenient. How do you know this?
I was there.
You're lying.
Can she tell he's lying? Or is she just saying that?
Oh God, I put that suit on because I didn't want anybody to know that I was at the auction. God, how did you do that? Clint!
I wonder, if I knew sign language, I could, if there's anything I'm missing from that other conversation that Maya and Kazi was his name were having, or Kavi. If you knew sign language, maybe you'd pick up on what they were saying to each other there, but as an audience, I think you're supposed to be left in the dark. Okay, so they want him alive, so they're not going to shoot. That was very kind of Jackie Chan. Oh yeah, because of a prosthetic leg. She's gonna crush it, yeah. So she's super against hearing aids. Very convenient. The Echo has her bow now as well, as in Kate's bow. Is that gonna release Kate? That was great. I do hope we get lots of shots like that where it shows just how great they are with the bows. Because I think the most impressive shot we saw in all of the movies is probably the one in Avengers where it like changes trajectory with the wind, doesn't it? On the helicarrier, that one. Oh, this is a cool tracking shot like this. It's just gonna keep spinning, show the action. And all this they're using all this music to add to the franticness of it. This must have been crazy to shoot. I'm imagining it's these two in the car and all of the windows are green screen.
Got trick arrows?
Definitely not this one.
What is this trick arrow that she's got?
No.
Oh, okay, that's something new. It just gets in the way, yeah.
Hit the wheels with the putty arrow.
So it will like stick, yeah.
It'd be a lot easier if we were facing the other way.
Oh, that was just an exploding one.
4 arrows more dangerous than that one?
That was a really cool action sequence. Like some of the CGI there was a bit weird, especially with the purple putty, but it was still a really cool sequence. Is that like the hacking one?
What is a trick that is completely useless?
Is that the one that he used before? It was like a hacker. It like hacked into things. It had like a USB port on it.
Please be a good one. Please be a good one.
I like how creative they are with all of these trick arrows. There's all of these new ones. We've seen him use a few of them before, but this is really cool. Just seeing how many he actually has, and we're getting to like explore what ones he does actually have. Because before, the only time we see them is he's using them in the specific cases. We're seeing like someone inexperienced discover them with us. Oh, she can grab her own bow.
And the Challenger gets totaled anyway.
Yeah. Is that like a poisonous gas or just a regular gas?
Got that truck. Aim high. Bring the arrow down on him.
Oh, it's a Pym arrow. Oh, that's great. It looked like they survived still. I thought it was just going to block the road. That's cool seeing the Pym technologies being used by him.
I do not want to see what this arrow does. Trust me.
Yeah, he's using it as a bluff. Oh, and is it the grappling hook arrow? Oh no, he still hasn't used the plunger arrow. It's just a very strong suction cup.
Oh, we gotta walk the dog.
I wasn't expecting this episode to be so action focused. Like, I thought there would be action because they would escape, but it was super action focused.
Oh my god, you really think so?
So he admits that she's got skill. Is he gonna go the rest of the show without his hearing aid?
Nathaniel? Nathaniel? What is... You're bored.
I'm glad we're actually seeing consequences of the deafness as well. It isn't just like he's got a hearing aid in the whole time and it's never addressed again, you know? There are actual consequences here.
I really wish I could be here with you, buddy.
And she's getting to see much more of his character, you know? She gets to see this like sensitive side to him, you know? This is a great way to build their connection.
I wanted to talk.
Yeah, they don't even know. Is Uncle Kingpin? It seems like that might be the case because they built him up a bit. And then they're worried about Uncle. He's like a bigger gang leader. She wants to be low-key with like a kind of smaller size gang. Are they going to put it together that Clint was Ronin?
I've dreamed of this for as long as I can remember.
It comes with a price.
Yeah, you have to sacrifice a lot.
You need a more recognizable costume.
Is she going to draw up the classic purple one?
Who's to be not recognizable, right?
Yeah, he was just undercover.
Picture this.
Yeah.
What if it was all black? All black with a mask. Maybe a hood?
That's just the Ronin one.
You can't say who Ronin is because it's someone close to you, isn't it?
Okay, so she's at least putting it together a little bit.
I'm not a role model.
Yeah, he doesn't think he deserves it.
I'm sorry, Kate. I'm not a role model to anyone.
He is a role model, though. He is, but he doesn't choose to be, you know?
You stuck around even though I screwed up.
He's just seeing it as kind of making amends for his troubled past, I guess. But she's seeing it as very sacrificial, I guess.
You don't have to name this dog, you know?
Oh no, in the comics, the dog's name is Lucky, isn't it?
These tracksuit guys are into some pretty bad stuff. You care to elaborate? I thought Maya was the boss.
Someone you don't want to mess with.
There's obviously bad blood with Ronin.
A lot of bad with Ronin.
Pretty upsetting to think there might be stuff from the Avengers compound floating around out there.
I've noticed how much more creative this episode is with some of the cinematography here and all of the shots.
Yeah, I'm in the wrong business. How'd you say Rahman was killed?
Swords.
Maybe.
In someone's home.
Don't move.
There's Jack, and he's got the Ronin sword. Just gonna end there. Okay, so that was episode 3 of Hawkeye. Definitely seems like they're setting it up for a big episode 4. You know, it seems like with a lot of these Disney Plus shows, episode 4 is always where the peak kind of starts to happen. So I'm really looking forward to the next episode. We had that bit of a cliffhanger there with Jack. I don't know if Jack knows that Kate is there as well, looking into everything, or if he just thinks that Clint is like an intruder. I don't know. It seems like maybe we'll finally get to see Jack's true self. Then this episode had a load of great stuff with Echo, a lot of backstory there that was more than I was expecting. So I'm hoping she does play a big role in the upcoming episodes. And then, of course, we have that tease of her uncle. As soon as we just kind of saw his thing, like his hands, I thought, is that Kingpin? And then they said we want to stay low key because we don't want Uncle finding out about this. I am very much expecting that to be Kingpin because of all the rumors that he's going to be in this show. Even if it's not him, I'll still be happy. I don't want to get my expectations up too much. And but all of that stuff was great, especially with her dad and just all of that bit of backstory, all that characterization. So there must be more of her in the show, you know? And then it does make me wonder, you know, Clint as Ronin went after that gang, and we still don't know what that gang is doing. Clint kind of just dodged the question when Kate asked what they did. So I am wondering, what is it that's so bad that they've done? Or did Clint realize he made a mistake and that gang wasn't really that bad in comparison to some of the others? Because we know he's taken down Yakuzas and all of these different things, and it does bring in this kind of moral question of, is it okay to take out these gangs and murder all of these people? Not every member of a gang is in it for the wrong reasons, I guess. They can be forced into these roles, or it would be very hard to find a way out. So if you're just indiscriminately killing gang members, you are kind of, there could be people that don't necessarily want to be there. But of course, there are situations where it makes sense. Like if, say, they were like sex trafficking and you're trying to like free the people and you're trying to escape and they're attacking you and you're fighting back, that makes sense. But it seems like at some points Clint was just kind of hunting after them. His motivation was really just, all of these good people have died, why are these bad people still allowed to live? It's like his motivation wasn't necessarily the most just, you know, when he was taking out these gangs. And although a lot of the time what they are doing is illegal, he isn't the one who should be judged during execution, you know. Also, the action here was much better than I was expecting. I was expecting some action sequences for like an escape, but I wasn't expecting it to be on the scale that it was here. That whole spinning car shot was great. I thought it would be green screen on all the windows, but then it kind of transitions out into Kate outside the thing. So that was either a really clean transition into that where I didn't notice, or it was they did something else instead of green screen there. Maybe they used the kind of technology that they were using in The Mandalorian with kind of the 360 LED screens as the backgrounds. That would be cool. So yeah, that whole action sequence was great. Seeing all of the different trick arrows, a lot more new and creative ones. There was like the gas one, the putty one, just loads of great ones. The acid one, that was really cool as well. And then of course the Pym particle one, that was a great highlight. It's great to see this crossover. You know, Hank has worked with Clint in some way, I guess, for him to get those arrows. I wonder if he also has a shrinking arrow and a few more other ones. And, you know, he must have worked with Tony as well to develop a few arrows. That seems like that would be something right up Tony's street, just helping him come up with all of these arrow ideas. So I hope we get to see even more of the trick arrows used in future episodes as well. And we get to see how skilled they actually are as archers. Because I think sometimes you almost forget how good they actually are. They don't have a lot of shots where it kind of shows off how great their skills are. Sometimes you just forget and you just see, oh yeah, he's just firing his arrows. But like in the first Avengers, we saw a lot of his great shots. So I'm hoping we see, you know, a few more shots where it kind of tracks the arrows, where it's like a super difficult shot to make, you know, things like that, just to really sell how great of archers they actually are. Then of course, I'm really hoping in the next few episodes, we get to see what's going on with all of these gangs, what their motivations are, seeing how they go up against each other, because we've only really seen the tracksuit gang. I'm hoping we see a bit more conflict with all of the gangs and stuff here. You know, I'm thinking Jack might be the head of the gang, so it seems like there's a tracksuit gang, there's Echo kind of at the top, then there's someone above her, and then there's probably a separate bigger gang because they're trying to keep low-key. There's a separate bigger gang. Maybe it's Jack who's above Echo, or it's the mum who's above Echo, or Jack is part of a completely separate group. I'm not sure this whole kind of dynamic. I really want to explore that more, and I hope we get a lot more of that. So yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, consider leaving a like or a comment. If you really loved it, be sure to subscribe so you can keep up to date for the next episodes. So yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.